A bright blue sky, yes, but it's not even 10 degrees Celsius when we leave our Swedish cabin. Not a pony to be seen sticking its head through the fence. Apparently, he prefers to stay in his warm stable instead of coming to say goodbye to us in this chilly morning weather. Understandable. We have been on the road for a week now, but saddle sores aside, it feels as if we have just begun. Yet, in another sense, it seems as though we've been roaming through this land for months. Such is a sense of familiarity here. Much of this is due to the warm and welcoming locals. Not once have I encountered a Swede who hasn't greeted us. And greeting in Sweden isn't just a casual nod as we are used to in Belgium. Here, people enthusiastically shout "hey" or "hey hey" while waving their hand high in the air. Many Swedes sitting on their porches even wave at us for several seconds as we pass by, as if we've been friends for years finally reuniting after a long time. If you pass, say at a shop, someone is sure to strike up a conversation. Almost all of them do so in excellent English, which is fortunate since my Swedish isn't quite up to par. It won't come as a shocking revelation that Sweden lacks alpine mountains. The highest point on our route is a modest 190 meters. Compared to that, even our Botrange, Belgium's highest mountain, could be considered a towering peak. But don't be misled, Sweden is far from flat. The succession of small mounds eventually takes its toll on your muscles, especially when hauling heavy bikes uphill. One of these slag burners led us today for once not to a scenic vista, but to what seemed like a junkyard. The path ended at a dilapidated house surrounded by piles of scrap metal. According to our map, a car track continued beyond the house. We saw traces of it, but a few meters further it vanished. So we had to climb back up and descend again to continue on the paved road. For those who know me, I have an aversion to paved roads. Where possible, I prefer unpaved paths. Fortunately, on this asphalt road we only encountered a few cars, so I could just about tolerate it. We suddenly realized we hadn't done any shopping, and according to our information, we wouldn't pass another store today. The man with whom we had booked a cottage for the night messaged us that there was a small grocery store near his B&B, but it closed at 4 p.m., which was tight for our schedule. We shifted into higher gear, trying to keep our breaks as short as possible to meet the deadline. Yes, we met the deadline. 20 minutes before closing time, we walked into the little shop famished. I just managed to restrain Wim, or he would have cleared out the entire store. With bags full of supplies, we continued to the B&B, which, just like yesterday, we couldn't find. We feared we'd have to bike another extra hour to the right address until the owner of the B&B drove up to meet us. He signaled for us to follow him. We trailed his car for almost a kilometer down an unpaved path until we arrived at a stunning spot by a lake. The man quickly showed us the house. He was about to leave for a family gathering and was already neatly dressed in the freshly ironed shirt, which stood in stark contrast to our bodies that hadn't seen a shower for a week. Fortunately, that would change today. The lawn between the B&B and the adjacent lake was being mowed by a female Swedish bodybuilder. Wim settled on the terrace, enjoying the view. Before going to bed, I wanted to watch the sunset over the lake, but just as I opened the door, a thunderstorm broke out. I crawled back under a cozy blanket with Wim on the couch and continued writing in my diary.